Have you ever seen in a movie a bomb disposal expert checking the YouTube video?
You've only got 20 seconds. Well, if there's a skip intro, I think we'll be all right.
My first proper item would be my bike.
Okay.
And I've always been a cyclist since, I suppose I was about 12.
Oh, quite late then.
I suppose that is quite
Yeah,
late.
I would say so.
Yeah, but growing up in London's tricky though,
Right, yeah.
which I did.
A lot more perilous.
It is perilous.
So what part of London?
Well, the first time I got on a bike and went cycling was down in Richmond.
Okay.
Leafy Richmond. So
Sure, but still, cars,
Yeah.
lots going on.
There's still a few maniacs down there.
Of course, yeah.
And my friend Tom, I was going to visit him and we were going to the video shop. So that was exciting.
Incredible.
The video shop. First time at the video shop. Tom was taller than I was.
Did you have a jacket and you were going to stand on his shoulders, get yourself a nice bluey?
He was tall enough and he had a cravat.
Bloody hell,
He wore
wow.
a cravat.
Excellent.
And so we were going to rent the heck out of some X films. We weren't interested in filth.
Yeah.
We wanted to see some guts come out of people.
Right, yeah.
And we rented Alien.
Wow.
Well, we rented, we're too scared to go for the full video nasties, but Alien was the thing we really, really wanted to see.
What a combo. So first time you rode a bike and the first time you saw Alien are all kind of meshed together.
Yeah. And it was scary being on the bike, like negotiating the traffic and just thinking, oh, this could go wrong quite easily. And it's like,
But what a day. So you were actually frightened on your way to get more fear.
yeah.
So do you know what I mean? It was just a day of non-stop. You must have slept so well that night.
Oh,
Your body must have just been absolutely blasted by the kind of fear.
fear and joy.
So what does it mean now when you get on a bike?
Liberation.
Right.
Freedom, control.
What have you got a special? I saw you come in with a Brompton.
Got the Brompton.
Is that your bike?
Yeah.
Do you have others?
Other Bromptons?
No.
Or other bikes?
Other bikes you use?
Yeah, I do.
I've got mistresses. Nice.
I've got a big electric guy.
Well, they're great.
And that is good because I'm going to take the opportunity for my first name drop today. I went to visit Brian Eno at his studio, which is not that far from where I live in Norfolk. And I looked at the map and I thought, I think I can cycle it. It's a 2-hour cycle, but I think I can do it. And it was a lovely day. So I cycled on my regular bike, but and it was fine. I got there okay. But on the way back, I experienced what I believe in cycling circles is known as bonking.
What's that?
Have you ever heard of bonking?
Not in cycling circles. Like it's very much like, it's sort of like an early 90s safe comic relief term, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lenny Henry used to scream at a lot of children.
Bonking!
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
bonk! Let's have a bonk!
Yeah, it was kind of a big word, wasn't it? But so what does it mean in cycling?
In cycling, it's when you are out of juice. You're out of fuel.
Oh, I see.
And the energy suddenly leaves you.
Yeah.
And you've just got nothing left. You've used up all the stuff you've got from your nutrients and your food, etc. And there you are totally running on empty. And you literally can't make your muscles do anything. You can sort of go for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then you just have to stop. And I talked to my PT about it the next day, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's bonking. And I was like, is it? I thought bonking was something else. But after that, I thought, okay, it's electric bike time if I want to carry on doing these long distance missions.
How long is 2 hours? Like how far?
Oh, how far? That's a good question. 40 miles?
40? Wow.
Is it?
So
Maybe I'm insane. Maybe it's less than that. But I think
that's a hell of a, yeah.
It might be around that.
And did you have all those kind of gels? Like the kind of electrolytes and all that kind of...
No, I didn't. That was the mistake I made.
Yeah,
I had a apple.
Old school.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a apple and some water, and that was it. So, yeah, the apple was pretty much the only thing I had for an 8-hour period.
What is your favourite bike? Do you like the electric or do you like the Brompton?
I do love the Brompton. We've had some great times. And it is just, by the way, I'm not sponsored by them.
No.
I'd love to be, but not currently. But I just think it is in every way a kind of masterpiece. What you're after in life, right, is things that work and work well and don't need constant updating or upgrading or fixing. especially if you're using it every day, which I generally am with the Brompton. And I mean, it almost never goes wrong. The tires don't burst very often. You don't get punctures too often. When you do, that is a living nightmare.
Yeah.
A Brompton tire is much harder to change than a regular tire. And the first time my rear tire on the Brompton went was very sad.
Yeah.
And that was more or less 2 days of watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to get it back on. It seemed physically impossible.
Yeah, I have a real memory of that in the 90s, of just like the amount you'd get like a thorn in your butt, and just going around with the inner tube in the sink, you know, in the kind of sink bowl, trying to see, okay, it's there, and then you fix it, you get it back on, you haven't double checked, you've got 2 pops. Just that moment of like, oh God. But they look hard. They look hard to get on. I guess
really hard.
because they're so durable.
They're so durable. They're tough physically to get back on the actual tyre, but also the mechanism around it is not like a regular bike. It works in a very specific way. I mean, it really is a crazily brilliant bit of design, the way the whole thing fits together and is foldable. And the way that, you know, the gears carry on working despite the fact that they're being reconfigured every time you fold the bike and all those sort of things. I couldn't tell you exactly how it works. But all the components have to be removed if you want to change the tyre, and then you have to get them back in the right order and everything. Then it's Google time. Then it's like get on the YouTube video.
Those YouTube videos have saved.
Brilliant.
They're amazing, aren't they? Like we had to kind of fit together a climbing frame for my son. And when I say we, I mean YouTube.
But you come to appreciate and love the people who do it in a super concise way.
Yep.
So they just get straight into it. Have you ever seen in a movie a bomb disposal expert checking the YouTube video? That would be a good scene.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Someone must have done that.
Yeah, that would be sort of like, The Truth in a Tom Cruise movie.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
could see-
Tom, I'm in over my head, mate. Can we just double check? You've only got 20 seconds. Well, if there's a skip intro, I think we'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? Just get there. Do you have like a favourite bike route?
Oh, well, I'm not that adventurous. It's all very utilitarian for me. I'm commuting, but every now and then, if I'm in a different town, if I'm doing a show or whatever, then I'll ask Google for a route. Generally, it'll take you somewhere scenic. And actually, there have been times in London as well when I've been rerouted to somewhere I wouldn't normally go, and I find myself by a canal or, you know, in these parts of London that you have never seen. I grew up in London. And there are these whole chunks that I have never been to and never knew existed. And it's like being in a dream. You're like, how's this here?
Yeah, the canals are fascinating because you just sort of glide along and you see there's so many different Londons in a half an hour bike ride.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it is that kind of beautiful sight, whiff of piss. Beautiful sight, you know what I mean? But when you get it, there's something about those kind of bridges. A canal bridge in London, it's a different stench of piss.
You just described my home life as well. Beautiful wife, whiff of piss.